I'm Billy, and this is the Ridiculously Efficient Desk Stretch. Let's get started. This morning we are going to be focusing on areas of our body that might be overworked throughout your workday. So if you're somebody that sits at your computer for a long period of time and does a whole lot of typing, this is the stretch for you, because we're going to be strengthening all of those muscles so that way you can protect your body. So what we're going to do to get started is we're just going to start at the top, and then we're going to work our way down. Some of these stretches might be a little bit more challenging for some of us than others. So if any time throughout this you are feeling any sort of pain, limit yourself in what you're doing so that way you're not causing any injuries by doing these stretches. If you have any questions, or if you're feeling stumped or confused by any of the directions, please don't hesitate to pause me throughout. As we move through this stretch as well, I will be looking at what you guys are doing too, so I can give you some body corrections so that way you're doing these stretches correctly. We're gonna start up here with our head first. So we're gonna be working on our neck primarily. So we want to be really careful when we're starting with our neck and not doing anything too fast. So this is going to start nice and slow. We're just going to do big upward, downward motions with our heads. As we're starting here, I want you to start focusing on your breath as well and making sure that you're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth the whole time you're doing all of these stretches. We want to do a good 8 to 10 each time we're doing each one of these stretches, so that way we're getting the muscles warm and getting the maximum flexibility out of each muscle. Excellent. Next, we'll return back to our neutral position, so stack your head back up on top of your shoulders. Now we're going to do big circles with our heads. Either to the left or to the right first is just fine, but most importantly, we're remembering that you're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Lovely. And let's return back up to neutral. Take a nice deep breath up here. Exhale. And now let's go the opposite direction as well. I don't know about you, but my neck is one of the problems that gives me the most trouble while I'm working throughout the day. So I find myself doing neck stretches the most often. After this, we're going to move down to our shoulders. And I'm also going to teach you a neck stretch that we're going to do once we're stretching our shoulders too. You should really feel that one good. Stack that head back up on top. Excellent. So next we're going to just add a little bit of pressure onto our neck muscles as well to help with that flexibility too. So we're going to put our right ear down onto our shoulder, and then with our right hand we're going to reach up and put that on the crown of our head. That's the very back top. And just using the weight of our arm, that will pull our head and our ear down onto our shoulder. We don't really want to be yanking here, just allowing our arm to be the weight that's pulling it down. Don't forget your breathing melody. And let's return back up to neutral and over to the other side as well. Put your ear down onto your shoulder, reach up with your left hand, put it up onto the crown of your head, and allow that weight of your arm to pull your head down to your shoulder. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Nice going, everybody. Put your head back up to the top. Next, we're going to slightly angle our head downward. So we're going to look down towards the ground, towards the right side. And now we'll reach up with our hand again, put it onto our crown, and we'll allow the weight of our arm to pull our head down towards the right side. So now we're a little bit slightly off the shoulder and just angled downward. and back up. And we'll repeat this over onto the next side now. Angle your head downward, looking towards the floor. Reach up, hand to the crown, and pulling that chin down. Excellent, nice job. Next, we're gonna do some big circles with our heads. So going all the way around in a big, huge circle. And now go the opposite direction. And switch, go back the other way. And back the other way one more time. Awesome, nice going everybody. Let's move on to our shoulders next. Put your hands onto your knees, like so. And this will sort of just be a nice resting position for us. We're going to move our shoulders forward first, raise them up towards our ears, and then tuck our shoulder blades back into the position. Beautifully. And continue on. Just be a nice resting position for us. We're going to move our shoulders. There goes Alexa. Moving the shoulders backwards one more time. Sorry about that interruption.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
And back the other way. Now we're going forwards with our shoulders. Beautiful, nice everyone. With our hands here on our knees, we're now going to swoop our hands up, forward, and above us. We want to have our palms facing forward. Then we're going to pull our elbows down, so we're in a touchdown position. Next, you're going to start to feel this stretch along your neck. We're going to be pulling our elbows down towards our side and tucking our shoulder blades back into its position. And you should feel a really tight stretch right along the lower part of your neck. Mike, make sure that your elbows are right along your side and not slightly behind you. Yes, nice job. Let's put our hands back onto our knees, swoop our arms up forward, down into our touchdown position, and then pulling our elbows down towards our sides. There you go, nice. And now let's do this a couple of times in a row, making sure that you're still focusing on your breathing. Pull those elbows all the way down to your side. Let's do this 3 more times. Now, when we have our elbows down at our side, I want you to pause here. And now we're gonna allow our head to drop down into our shoulder and put our ear down. And now you should feel that stretch even more so along your neck area.
Yes.
This is one of those stretches that can be a little bit painful at first, but once you know how to do this stretch, you can really help your flexibility in this area, and your neck will be thanking you for it. So let's do return back up to neutral, do one more swoop up, bring our elbows all the way down, and now we'll drop our head over to the opposite side. Don't forget your breathing. Awesome, nice job everybody. Let's return our hands back to our knees and stack your head back up on top. Now we're gonna do a little bit of a spinal twist. So if you're sitting down in a chair, you can use the armrest on your chair. If you don't have an armrest, you can use the side of your leg as well. We're gonna grip onto that arm and we're gonna twist our back all the way around so we can look behind us, and continue that stretch all the way around with your head. So Melody, you should be looking at that doorknob. Aiden, you try to look at mom, and really, really, really get that stretch going around on your neck as far as you can get it. And take a deep breath here. And return back to center. And now we'll do our spinal twist the opposite direction. Grab a hold on the side, stretch your back all the way around, and continue that focus as far to the other direction as you can. And return back into center. Let's take a nice deep breath here. And exhale. Beautifully. Let's clap our hands together, bring them into a prayer position. We're going to take a nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And now clasp your hands together. We're going to start rolling out our wrists now. If your wrists are anything like mine, you're going to hear lots and lots of crunchies going on during this time. Yeah. Even though we're doing our wrists, we still want to be focusing on our breathing, making sure that we don't have our shoulders raised up too much, that our shoulders are down and tucked into place. And now try to rotate your wrists the opposite direction. This should be a little bit tricky for you. And pause. Now we're going to make big waves with our hands. So keeping your fingers still clasped together. If ever you're working a long time during the day and you're starting to feel tired, or if you're feeling like one of these areas of your body is starting to give you some trouble, you should stop the work that you're doing immediately and remind yourself to do some of these stretches. And go the opposite direction with your wave. Nice going. Return your hands to your knees. Pick one hand, put it out in front, and take your opposite hand. We're going to place that across our palm, and we're going to pull back on our fingers. Take a nice deep breath in. You should feel this stretch right along your wrist. And now let's do each finger individually, starting with our thumb. Use your hand and pull right onto your thumb. We're going to take a deep breath for each finger, moving to our pointer finger, our middle finger, ring finger, and our pinky. Great, let's switch over to the next side now. Put your hand out, flex your wrist, use your opposite hand, pull back on your palm, and take a deep breath. Now let's do each finger individually. Start with your thumb. Your pointer finger. Your middle finger. Ring finger. And your smallest finger. It might seem a little bit silly to be stretching each finger individually, but if you're working on a computer, your fingers do a lot of repetitive motions where you're stretching your hands far across the keyboard. For example, when you're reaching for the delete button or you need to hit escape, your hand is really stretching there. So it'll have nice flexibility in your fingers if you're taking care of your body that way. Now I'm excited to show you my most favorite stretch, and I hope that this is a new one for most of you guys. I learned this one when I was on tour with Ringling Brothers, and I had Shaolin Warriors that were performing side by side with me. Now, Shaolin Warriors are Kung Fu monks, and they came from China. And what makes them Shaolin Warriors is that they combine martial arts with Zen Buddhism. So they're very, very, very mindful of their breath and their flexibility as well. So they use all of these elements to make their bodies as strong as possible. And I asked them one day how I could take better care of my wrists, because when I was touring with the circus, I was doing tons of back handsprings on a hard floor, and my wrists and my forearms were really starting to take a beating from this. So they taught me this stretch to help me with my flexibility and soften the impact on my wrists a little bit. So this is going to teach us a full range of motion for our wrists. So we're going to start by having our arms out nice and wide. This one, you might be bonking into people next to you, so make sure that you've got plenty of room to be reaching all the way out forward. We're going to bring our arms together in front and have our palms of our hands come together. Next, we'll pull our wrists into our chest, so you'll feel a nice stretch there with your wrists. Next, we'll flatten our hands out onto our chest and extend our arms all the way out. It's important that your shoulders and your arms are going straight out and that they're not too far forward or they're not too far back. Now that we have our hands out, we're gonna flip our wrists backward and then open up our fingers. You should really feel this stretch right in your forearm. You can also amplify this stretch by standing up and being next to a wall. You can push the palm of your hand up against the wall, and that will really help with some flexibility there. So now we'll do this one a couple more times. Bring your hands back together. Pull your wrists into your chest. Flatten your hands, extend your arms out, flip your hands back, and now open up your fingers. You really shouldn't feel the stretch too bad until you open up those fingers there. Clap your hands back together. Pull in your hands to your chest, flatten your hands, extend them out, flip your hands back, and open up your fingers. There you go. And let's do this 3 more times. Clap together, pull them in, flatten them out, flip them back, open them up. Clap them together, pull them in, flatten them out, and flip them back, open up those fingers. Nice, and last time, bring your hands back together. Pull your wrists into your chest, flatten your hands, open them up, flip your hands back, and open up your fingers. Let's take a nice deep breath here. Return back to a prayer position, hands together. Now we're just gonna bring some focus to our breath and jam-pack our bodies full of oxygen. So just take a moment here, close your eyes, and really focus on your breathing. And open your eyes. Return your hands back to your knees. Make sure that you've got your shoulder blades down. And that's it, everybody. I hope that you're all feeling nice and stretched out and ready to kick butt today in front of the computer or doing whatever you do with your hands and wrists. But I'm really grateful that all of you guys were able to join us this morning, and I can't wait to hear some of your feedback and stretches that you might want to learn how to do in the future. I also encourage you to reach out to me personally, and if you have an area of your body that you notice is bugging you during the workday, I'd be happy to get you set up with some stretches so that way you can take care of your bodies the best possible. Now that we're all done, make sure to drink a lot of water and stay hydrated throughout the day. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.